Speaker, today I'm rising to inform the House of an extremely serious matter. I just informed the leaders of the opposition directly, but I want now to speak with all Canadians. Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the Government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Canada is a rule of law country. The protection of our citizens and defense of our sovereignty are fundamental. Our top priorities have therefore been, one, that our law enforcement and security agencies ensure the continued safety of all Canadians, and two, that all steps be taken to hold perpetrators of this murder to account. Canada has declared its deep concerns to the top intelligence and security officials of the Indian government. Last week at the G20, I brought them personally and directly to Prime Minister Modi in no uncertain terms. Any involvement of a foreign government in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is an unacceptable violation of our sovereignty. It is contrary to the fundamental rules by which free, open, and democratic societies conduct themselves. As you would expect, we've been working closely and coordinating with our allies on this very serious matter. In the strongest possible terms, I continue to urge the Government of India to cooperate with Canada to get to the bottom of this matter. I also expect it to reiterate that its position on extrajudicial operations in another country is clearly and unequivocally in line with international law. I know many Canadians, particularly members of the Indo-Canadian community, are feeling angry or perhaps frightened right now. Let us not allow this to change us. Let us remain calm and steadfast in our commitment to our democratic principles and our adherence to the rule of law. This is who we are and what we do as Canadians.
अदिति भी हमारे साथ जुड़ गई हैं। अदिति, किस तरह से समझा जाए जहां पे जो बैकलैश आ रहा है और हम देख पा रहे हैं कि ये जो रिटेलिएट जो मूव अगर किया गया है कनाडा की तरफ से कि टॉप जो हमारे सीनियर डिप्लोमेट है उन्हें निष्कासित कर दिया गया है, इस मूव को किस तरह से देखा जा रहा है?
अमिता, अगर आपको याद होगा 2020 में एनआईए ने टेररिस्ट, डेजिग्नेटेड टेररिस्ट की उपाधि दी थी हरदीप सिंह निज्जर को। ये एक हिंदू प्रीस्ट के कत्ल में भी वांटेड हैं। साथ ही साथ बहुत से ऐसे केसेस में एनआईए इनकी तलाश में था जहां पर इनके खिलाफ एंटी इंडिया मोटिव एजेंडा पेडल करने का क्राइम का आरोप है। Not just this, even a 10 lakh bounty was also declared earlier this year on him, where NIA is also wanting him in many cases, and he has been promoting anti-India agenda since long now. He's also promoting Khalistani, pro-Khalistani sentiments, sitting in Canada and spewing hate against India. Now more opposition MPs and in Canada more people are coming in favor of Trudeau, asking for justice for this designated terrorist. We have some tweets and reactions. This is Jagmeet Singh, and he says that today we learned of allegations that agents of the Indian government murdered Hardeep Singh Nijjar. So this kind of narrative is peddling in Canada, where they're saying that Indians have
जगमीत सिंह की जरूरत क्यों है कनाडा के प्रधानमंत्री को, इसके बारे में तो सभी को तो पता ही है, लेकिन ऋषभ, जो स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पॉसिबल टर्म्स के बारे में हमने सुना कनेडियन प्रधानमंत्री की तरफ से जस्टिन ट्रूडो, लेकिन जब भारतीय मूल के लोगों पर वहां पर अगर हमला होता है, हमारे मंदिरों पर हमला होता है, तो ये स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पॉसिबल टर्म्स वहां क्यों नहीं अपनाए जाते, वहां पे कॉन्डमनेशन क्यों नहीं आती है?
In one word, this is what the face-saving measure is. Remember, when Canadian Prime Minister was here, Indian Prime Minister schooled him on the Khalistani issue in the strongest possible term, again, quote unquote, strongest possible term. India put forward its concern and said that Canada is not doing enough to stop what's happening on Canadian soil against India. Then Canadian Prime Minister was stuck here for almost 38 hours given the faulty plane that he was flying in. And when he went back, and we have seen the coverage, be it Toronto Sun, be it other local newspapers and broadcast channels in Canada, the way Justin Trudeau has been rebuked, this is basically a face-saving term where now Justin Trudeau is trying to showcase that he stood in India and spoke to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It has been, 10 days since G20 got over, since the bilateral meeting, the polar-side bilateral meeting between India and Canada got over. There has not been a single official release on this front from Canada that Canada raised this issue with India. First, the way Hardeep Singh
Nijjar एक बार बने हमारे साथ Shinjoy too as well. I'm told that Mr. RSN Singh is हमारे साथ अभी फोन लाइन पे जुड़ गए हैं. सर गुड मॉर्निंग. सर कनाडा के प्रधानमंत्री की तरफ से सर एक बयान आया है ये कहते हुए कि भारत का हाथ हो सकता है जहां तक अगर खालिस्तानी आतंकवादी के बारे में बात करें जिसकी हत्या हो गई थी जून में सर, उसके पीछे वो भारत का नाम ले रहे हैं.
The problem with Trudeau is that he is totally dependent on the Khalistani elements for his, survival in power. कोई ऐसे 12 सीट हैं जिसके बिना वो जिसका खालिस्तानी का जिस पे स्वे है और उसके कारण he is hostage, he is a political hostage to the Khalistanis. The second issue is that he has gone with a lot of grouses, I would say, to back to Canada after G20. And on at least 2-3 occasions diplomatically, India has displayed its not only concern but disdain for what he has been doing, against the Indian interests. You, as a head of state, I mean, you cannot be promoting terror, against another state. अगर मान लीजिए अगर हम भी कनाडा के खिलाफ इस तरह से दहशतगर्द पालने लगे तो उनका क्या रवैया होगा.
लेकिन सर क्या कनाडा एक कदम आगे बढ़ गया है जहां तक हमारे जो टॉप इंडियन डिप्लोमेट है उन्हें निष्कासित करके सर इसके से किस तरह से देखा जाए इस मूव को.
हाँ नहीं, मैं जब सुबह जब ये देखा मैं थोड़ा हैरान हो गया और वो कहते हैं कि जिस डिप्लोमेट को उन्होंने निष्कासित किया है वो इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज से उनका वास्ता है. तो यहाँ पर तो हर दुनिया में कोई ऐसी एम्बेसी नहीं है जहाँ पे इंटेलिजेंस के लोग ना हो और ये कोई, लेकिन आप उसका हवाला देते हुए अगर आप इस तरह का काम करते हो तो फिर ये दिस इज मैं क्या कहूँ एक there is a definitely this is the new drop, new low, I would say, new low as far as Indo-Canadian relations are concerned.
जी.
और इससे बात और आगे बिगड़ती जाएगी, ये भी मैं बता रहा हूँ.
जी. हम इंतजार करेंगे सर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से ऑफिशियल स्टैंड अगर कोई स्टेटमेंट दी जाएगी और वो होगा इसी मुद्दे को लेकर. धन्यवाद आपका RSN सिंह सर हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. We'll also play out the reaction that is coming in from another minister there in the Canadian government.
First and foremost, I would like to extend my condolences to the family and loved ones of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The allegations that a representative of a foreign government may have been involved in the killing of a Canadian citizen here in Canada on Canadian soil is not only troubling, but it is completely unacceptable. If proven true, this would be a grave violation of our sovereignty and of the most basic rule of how countries deal with each other. We've been clear, we will not tolerate any form of foreign interference. Since this was brought to our attention, we've been guided by 3 principles. The first one, we will seek the truth. The second one, we will protect Canadians at all times. And thirdly, we will protect Canada's sovereignty. I've conveyed these principles to my Indian counterpart, and I've also told him that we expect India's full collaboration to make sure that we get to the bottom of this. And as of today, and as a consequence, we've expelled a top Indian diplomat from Canada.